fire in the 40 ounce of gasoline. It's having dreams and not asleep that might bring out the devil in me. I'm down on my level, yeah. Yeah, she wants a taste. Ain't no way you get it like me, you don't see how I see. So what the fuck am I doing thinking of apologies? Every one of us wanna catch a bus, forever chasing dreams.
Welcome back to the Tuesday morning podcast with Watsun.
Yeet.
I really just had to see how deep our toilet was and how cold it was.
And what was the outcome, man? What was the?
I think it's about 3 foot deep, maybe about 12 inches wide.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we gotta keep going with this wrestling stuff because there's a lot of stuff that kind of pops up in my mind too. Once you kind of let it settle for a second, you're like, oh, I should have said this about that.
Yeah, I'm going through the same thing, man. As soon as we cut out for a second, but anyway, shoot, man.
Yeah, we're doing. See, okay, glad you brought it up like that. To me, I've learned to respect John Cena now, but there was a period in time, I guess the ruthless aggression era, like, basically when it was just Cena carrying the company or whatever. It was
right.
This is borderline the worst shit ever in wrestling, period. But what got me through that was the shoot interviews that popped up on the internet. I love watching that stuff.
Yeah, man. I've watched. It's been a minute since I've watched those. I couldn't tell you the last shoot interview I actually watched, but man, there was a time in my life that I did not. I mean, for whatever reasons, I did not watch wrestling at all, like or WWA or F or whatever it was at that time. Didn't watch it one bit. Like, there's a few couple years that I just missed out on. So, but yeah, those shoot interviews, man, like the Jim Cornette is good.
Dude, yeah, I love that guy.
Fuck, I can't remember the dude's name. He was drunk as shit in the interview.
Oh man, there's a lot of those.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's a handful of them. I can't just on top of my head for
some
reason.
I think the first one that really got me into it was Terry Funk. Watching one, I was like, damn, this is like, I don't hate wrestling now. This is like the best part of wrestling right now in my life. Started off with Terry Funk, then I went through the ECW wrestlers. Man, I don't know if you heard New Jack talk about some shit, but whoa.
Yeah, your New Jack shit is intense, man. He's a crazy motherfucker too.
Yeah, the mass transit incident, with that fat kid. He said he was a wrestler, but he wasn't,
Yeah, man, there's a few incidents with that dude that,
yeah.
What was it? He threw that motherfucker off the scaffolding.
Who was that?
Purposely tried to kill him. I can't remember the dude's name, but the scaffold match in the ring was...
His name's... Yeah, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about, though. He's bald dude. Yeah, and what's kind of crazy is Vic Grimes. I think it's his name, Vic Grimes.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, what's crazy about it, the earlier New Jack shoot interviews was like, I fucking hate this guy, wish he was dead. Then they later done a shoot interview together, and they're cool now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I don't think I've seen that one. I'm not completely sure on that. I've watched and seen so much shit that it's hard for me to for real keep up, but... New Jack, he was hard for me to kind of get into for a minute because he was just one of those, like, asshole fucking, I'm going to try to hurt you big time dudes,
Yeah, like the thing you're not supposed to do in wrestling,
Exactly, man. It made me, like, that's the kind of shit I make, if anyone is looking or interested in being a wrestler, watch that and they'll probably change their mind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do appreciate his point of views on the business, but yeah, as far as, like, the stuff he did in the ring, it's kind of... Yeah. See,
it's hard.
See, yeah, those the early ones to start it off with. Then me and Alan really got into the Honky Tonk Man.
Oh yeah, man. I've seen. I don't think I've watched all of that one, but I've definitely seen most of that one.
Like, there's ones that he does that are clean. There's one that he just fucking let loose, man. He was one of my favorite wrestlers when I was little because I used to run around on my couch and do the honky tonk dance all the time.
Yeah, man, I dug him big time, man. Him and just the fact that just the way he carried himself. I mean, he's the best in my opinion. I want to say he's probably the best Intercontinental Champion that they've had thus far. But then again, man,
there's some good ones.
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones. So, But yeah, man, Honky Tonk Man was a shit for sure.
Yeah, because the thing about his gimmick, it's like he's basically shitting on the South, making fun of, Elvis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he was champion, so and he's one of the longest reigning champions of all time. And
Yep.
what is weird to me is looking back. I was a really big fan of heels when I was little. Like I loved Rick Rude when I was little too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I was the same way, kind of. Like I love Rick Rude. I did not like Sergeant Slaughter at all.
No, not at all.
I like Jake the Snake when he was a heel. Like,
Yep.
A lot of people don't realize or don't remember him being a heel there for a little bit, but he was. I dug that. Who was the other ones, man? Macho Man, man. Macho Man was definitely one of my favorite as a heel. Just one of my favorites. Dude,
yeah. To me, he's top 5, one of the greatest. That's
no
just
doubt,
in my opinion.
No doubt. No doubt.
Because Al and I used to watch the old shitty AWA, and I want to say shitty. I mean the tape quality was shitty. The matches wasn't. And seeing, because we grew up right when the territories kind of died, and it's when Vince McMahon pretty much bought all the big dudes from all the territories.
Right.
You had Crockett Wrestling and Memphis Wrestling still doing stuff, but WWE was like the all-star team of that era, and and it was basically the dream team. That's why it worked so well.
Yep. They definitely, man. He definitely had it going on there at the beginning with all the talents and all the different wrestlers he managed to put together in one place, man. And because all those wrestlers worked so good together, plus it gave them a chance to put their shit out there, and they got noticed and they got paid more, and
Yeah, from what I understand, from I gather from a lot of the shoot interviews from the rock and wrestling era, was they didn't really give a shit about having a title belt or not. Most of the time, they're like, this one more thing I have to carry around, because everybody was having such a good time. They were getting paid the more they've ever been paid, and
they were
banging.
definitely rock stars, man.
Yeah, they got everything, so they didn't really care too much about the belts. Obviously.
Did you ever notice, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. Did you ever notice how, and I think it was Kevin Nash, I seen him with the shoot interview talking about it, but how back in the day, most wrestlers carried around a fanny pack?
Yeah.
I remember him telling me what that was used, his fanny pack was used for, and I have to believe that that was the case with most wrestlers, but it was a party in a little bag, man.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't her cell phone in there.
No.
Or some hand wipes or something.
Shit, who knows, man? Who knows?
But see,
man, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say about that rock and roll lifestyle that happened. You can't do that in WWE anymore. But if you're I don't know, if you're doing the indies, you can do whatever the fuck you want, and it feels right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I don't know how it is everywhere. I know how in the WWA they're very. I know they have whatever it is, whatever the people are that come in and randomly drug test or randomly. They'll randomly drug test, the wrestlers. And of course, if you fail, I think it's like a fine, and you lose your license for so long, and this and that. Which I completely get it. You know what I'm saying? Just because wrestling's one of those things. It's like if you miss or if you mess up one bit, you're potentially going to hurt, completely, destroy somebody.
Yeah.
You're doing high velocity shit, and one wrong move, man, and so you don't want to be wrestling somebody that's just completely out of their dome piece.
That's true.
In your life, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man, we know how, especially in the indies, like you said, you know how these dudes are and what they do, and you're being thrown around however many nights in a row, or you're having matches that involve you going through fucking tables or hitting concrete. Your body hurts.
Yep.
And you got to do something that's going to help you get through the next match, with a bruised rib or whatever it is. But it's like the Jake the Snake, Jake the Snake is like a prime example of how wrestlers rolled, him and Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels, man, back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
I know you're a huge Shawn Michaels fan.
Oh yeah, man. Absolutely.
I'm not, I was going to say one thing and that's it. I think he's a pretty good wrestler, but a fucking shitty person.
Yeah, man, yeah. See, as a kid, man, growing up, I never got too into like.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, I didn't give a shit. But you know, it's one of those
Right.
things like when your parents tell you Santa Claus isn't real, you're like, why?
Yeah. But no, Shawn Michaels is definitely not a. You know, he's definitely a bitch of a person. Or has been. You know, I'm not so sure what. I know not recently, but just not too long ago, man. I was flipping through the channels and like his little hunting show came on, and I was like, what the hell? That sounds like Shawn Michaels with the hunting some shit. And sure enough, that's who it was. But I don't know, man. It'll break your heart, I guess, kind of. At the same time, I still don't mind going back and watching his old matches and looking back at the shit, because man, he knew he played his role very, very well, regardless of him being a shitbag or not.
Yeah. Yep. I moved on from listening to wrestlers shoot on stuff to the personalities of the time. You know, obviously that's why I fell in love with Jim Cornette. You know, fell in love with the dude. They're like, also he's like right down the street, man. He lives in Louisville. You know.
Yeah, he does stuff for OVW, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's where without doing done the territories like Rocky Mountain. He did a little bit of everything, but he got really focused later on in his quote unquote WWE career in OVW. Then he's just what I'm getting at. You get into these personalities. I don't know if you've listened to Jim Ross, his podcast, dude. That dude's legit, dude. I love that guy.
I mean, Jim Ross is somebody that like a lot of people don't completely understand. I have not listened to too much of his podcast and stuff, but I've watched and listened to different things involving him. But yeah, man, Jim Ross is there's more to the dude than a lot of people know about or see or whatever. Man, he does commentary for New Japan, right?
Yeah, he'd done that for, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he did it for a pretty good while. Yeah, he said he loved it a lot because he didn't have someone in his ear telling him, like when you do WWE shows, you always got Vince being like, make sure you talk about the network or Bango Oil and all that. He said it was for Access TV. He said they just let him do his shit. And
which is the way it should be, man. That's the best. That's where you're gonna get the best commentary and the best out of somebody. Is if you just let them kind of like roll. I mean, you can give them a script or give them an idea of what to do, what to say, yada yada yada. But like at the end of the day, you gotta let them be themselves.
Yeah, he said the hardest part was actually pronouncing the Japanese wrestlers' names, which is what I'm saying.
I have a hard time. Yeah, I have a hard time with that.
Like I can say Okada. That's pretty easy.
I can never remember the dude's name. The dude that's beefing with AJ Styles right now. What's that guy's name?
Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke. Yeah, it's like I can say his name. It's just remember him. him. You know what I mean? But
his name should be Steve. But no, it's like here recently though. What is crazy? He was talking about. Well, this period in his life is kind of like a mixture of good old JR and good old sad JR, because his wife, freak accident, got hit. She's riding a moped or one of those. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she got hit and she died.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I think this is last year, and hear him talk about that stuff and have him like talk about his personal stuff, like his personal demons and stuff.
Yeah.
This made me love him more.
Oh yeah, you get to know the guy. You get to understand him a little more, like why he might have acted or seemed a certain way. Because Jim Ross, man, he's been through a lot over the years with wrestling. He's been fucked with and fucked over.
Yep.
And put in positions that normally a person wouldn't be put in or whatever. But I didn't know that about his wife, man. That's fair.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Another awesome podcast. Obviously, Stone Cold Steve Austin's, man. That shit is so fucking good.
Yeah, dude, Steve Austin just knows his shit. Plus, he's just all around, like, he's like the ideal wrestler for me. Like, as far as he just knows the business and he knows what he's talking about, and he don't pull no punches either. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the thing that I didn't know. Me and Alan's listened to it. Just some random thing. I suggest anybody listen to this right now, probably pause this and go listen to this, is Stone Cold is a funny motherfucker. He was talking about Sasquatch being on his farm or on his ranch, and he tells this story, and it fucking, I don't know, I was crying so hard. I was laughing. It was so crazy, dude. I didn't know about the guy. I didn't know he's that funny.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know if I've heard that one or not, but Stone Cold is definitely he's a character, man, and he comes off as this like badass, this mean kind of dude, but he has a personality like no other, man.
And see, and that's what I love about that age of when I was done with wrestling. Then I got into the shoot interviews and the podcast stuff, and it made me love wrestling even more than I did. It seems like.
Yeah. I should get into it more, but hold on 1 second. But just I got so many other things that I listen to or watch and this and that. I don't really. I kind of sleep on the whole podcast from different wrestlers or the shoot interviews and stuff now. Every once in a while, man, I'll catch myself, listening to something or checking some shit out. But here lately, man, I just haven't really had too much interest in it, man. I don't know, I watched and heard a little bit of the Stone Cold podcast, but I just haven't got far deep into it, man.
It's just crazy, man, because that's what I do. That's why I love doing podcasts, because I listen to podcasts all the time. I fall asleep listening to them and stuff. But see, here's the thing. I guess the past couple months, I really haven't dove too much into modern music. My collection of music is so eclectic. If it's good, I fucking love it. I've been listening and re-listening because when you produce music, I think Alan can attest to this too. When you're into actually making the music, you listen to it to death, and and you appreciate when you hear something that's well produced because oh, okay, I got that. But I was kind of wondering, Justin, what have you been listening to now?
Oh, dude, as far as modern music, man, there's not the newest, the latest shit that comes out. There's not a whole lot. I know the Mr. Kevin Willoughby, a while back, a year or so ago, introduced me to this band, Highly Suspect. They're pretty dope. They're kind of a modernish alternative band and whatnot. But
okay.
Man, as far as especially with hip hop music, there's modern. There's not much modern shit I listen to. There's some underground stuff that. There's this dude Puya, I think that's how you pronounce his name, from Florida. He's pretty dope. He's modern,
Right.
But really, man, I stick with the, Big Crit. He's not really modern, I don't think. I think he's been around a lot longer than I've known him to be around, but he's pretty alright. But really, man, just listening to this, my standard just shit that's been around for years, man, really, because it's hard for me to really pinpoint or think of anyone that's just now coming in or just now out that I jam a little bit. There's a dude named Logic. I think he's been around for years, though. He's all right. There's not a lot of modern rock and roll. There's this band that kind of sounds like Led Zeppelin a little bit. I can't think of the name of them. They're all right.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of Wolfmother when that happened.
Yeah. And there's a group called All Them Witches I've been jamming here and there. But I've been just listening to a lot of hip-hop music, which has been kind of always my go-to shit. I jam all kinds of other stuff. But I've been trying to figure out, some newer, modernish, good hip-hop music.
Yeah.
And, there's some out there. And
it's tough.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, man.
Without listening to it ironically, that's my problem. Sometimes I just listen to it ironically because it's so shitty it's good kind of thing.
And there's those dudes that, there's artists and, people that's been around for years that are still putting out music and it's still good. Like I said, they've just been around, so you can't really say it's modern. You know what I'm saying? They've just been around for years and they're still putting out new good shit. But yeah, man, I've been listening to a lot of Big Crit lately. I've been listening to, I've been jamming the Melvins, man. I've seen that you have been posting on them. I've been listening to, that, a lot of the Melvins here and there.
Dude, I fucking love that band. And Pincus is fucking, I think, full name of it, I think it's Abortion Pincus or something. It's really good. What's kind of crazy about it, it's an odd Melvins pop album. When I say that, it's not sludgy. There's no, it's heavy, but it's not sludgy.
I know what you mean. Well,
it's kind of, I love the Melvins. So here's the thing. Here lately, I'm kind of slowly phasing out of it, though. I was on a big Nirvana kick again.
Yeah, I think I go through that phase every, every like I don't know 6 to 12 months. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you go back to it.
Always going to be it's always going to be like one of my like biggest influences ever. Just because I mean, shit. When I was a young kid, you know, getting into music for the first time, they were one of the first, you know, one of the first bands and one of the first artists at all that I got, you know, seen and like just for some reason grabbed my attention really.
Right. Yeah. See, it's because you just like it still kicks ass to me. You know.
Yeah. It's absolutely, dude. It never gets old. And you often wonder. It's like, man, like I wonder what would that be now? You know what I mean? I don't think they'd be Nirvana. I think Kurt would have done his own. You know, because even in interviews he talked about how he would have liked to eventually, you know, drifted off into the realm of like, you know, a Johnny Cash type thing, which, you know, wouldn't be like Johnny Cash, it's Kurt, but it's acoustic stuff, you know.
Yeah, kind of like a Neil Young kind of situation. Yeah, so I would, you know, obviously I'm still into Melvins for some reason, but yeah, there was Nirvana and also what's kind of crazy is I wanted to see, me personally, I've never seen a billion viewed YouTube video before. It's like, why? I've never seen like 1.8 billion views for a video. And it was a Justin Bieber video. And I was like, I'm not supposed to like this, but there's like two songs from Justin Bieber that I like.
Hey, man, you know what, dude? There's a lot of people that won't admit it, but me personally, like, having a daughter, of course, she, you know, at one point was, you know, was on a Justin Bieber kick.
Right.
And back then, at first, I was like, nah, man, I don't know. But a song came on, I was like, man, I ain't supposed to like this, but
I do.
I just jammed, so I jammed it, and it's like, whatever, it jams, and I dig it.
Yeah, see, you know, I got over that. I'm not ashamed. You know, if I like it, I like it.
I mean,
you know?
like, and it's like this, man, especially where music is now, like, especially with just so many, like, what's kind of like this, man, there's a lot of hip-hop or rappers or whatever, however you want to call it, that I wasn't really digging on it for a while, and then this whole mumble rap shit came along, and it made me appreciate motherfuckers that I normally wouldn't even like get a chance to.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's like, oh man, yeah, it blows my mind a little bit. But and same thing with like the pop thing or the R&B thing. There's not like a lot of I haven't really kept up with the whole R&B thing.
Me either.
Lately,
because I remember when Frank Ocean was going to be the next big thing, and I tried to get into it, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I
got into Bruno Mars there for a second, a little bit.
Dude, I like that man. 24K Magic when it came out, dude. That shit was dope.
It definitely was, man. It definitely was. I still jam Bruno every once in a while. I'm just, man, especially like here in the past, like I would say fucking the past year, I've been on an Outkast kick. Even with like as much as I jam Nirvana, like Outkast has always been like my top top.
They're the Beatles of hip hop, man. They're in my top 10.
No doubt, man. And Andre 3000 is just a fucking genius, dude.
Then Big Boy's solo albums are dope too, man.
Man, see, they get ignored. I feel like a lot of people look past that. And I don't know why.
I know, because the Boominiverse or whatever that came out. Yeah, that was tail end. Mine came out tail end of last year, beginning of this year. I mean. Yeah. I love Big Boy too. To me, it's just like a John Lennon, Paul McCartney thing. Like, I love Paul McCartney solo albums too. You know what I'm saying?
See, I've listened to a little bit of it, but like a little bit of Paul McCartney stuff, but maybe not enough. I don't know. I get stuck in my little world of music. I listen to so much music though. It's kind of unhealthy, to be honest with you. At this point in life, I can't remember half the shit I listen to, the names of artists and
Dude,
this and that.
I used to be able to tell you this is track 7 and this song is blah blah blah. I got to the point where I can't do that anymore.
No, I can't either, man. I really can't.
I just say it's on. I don't know. It's on Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy. It's on that album. I don't know what number it is, but it's there.
Yeah, I can tell you most of the artists or most of the people I listen to, even that's becoming an issue with me, like, especially the stuff that I haven't listened to for years, it's hard for me to remember names, and I just go with it at this point, man. Like, if it's not on my, like, playlist or on my phone or something, if I get on YouTube, and I'll just let shit play through, which is how I found like, a couple, few motherfuckers I've been listening to lately, but Yeah, man. I've just been on an Outcast and Bone Thugs and Harmony and Nirvana kick for the past year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. See, it's a healthy diet, man. It's
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
yeah, because I've just been stuck on the Melvins, Nirvana, Thin Lizzy, and Alan got me back into the Bloodhound Gang. And
Oh yeah, man. We were talking about that. I think just not too long ago, man.
Yeah, that
Them
shit
and
is
ICP,
dope.
man.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
ICP, totally, dude. Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
man. You know what? A lot of people, they got a bad rep, but like, you got to give them credit, man, because like they literally built a fucking empire from the ground up and did it, and then have one of the biggest. I mean, okay, they're so big that like they're considered a gang at this point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Just think about this. They are the most successful independent label of all time.
Yeah. Yep. And they did it with clown makeup.
Yep. Yep. And being
and they have the wrestling thing going too, man. They're just kind of like they go about their thing, their deal, kind of like wrestling. You know what I mean, in a way.
yeah, and it blows them. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a juggalo, man.
No, hell no. Like, I mean, at some point, I would love if I were able, to ever do any kind of show or do any kind of set at the gathering. I would do it for sure.
Hell yeah, man! You got to think about all the people who's been there the past couple of years. Like Ric Flair was there, fucking MC Hammer. I mean, all kinds of crazy people, man. I just hope that man, Eminem fell off, and he should do the Gathering of Juggalos now.
I feel like I've been waiting for that, man. That's something I've been waiting for. Because, like, they had their beef for a good while. And I think they're cool now. And, Val and Jay and Shaggy both kind of went through their ups and downs and had their issues, as, Eminem too. But,
yeah.
I think that'd be the most epic thing to happen. And, like, that would kind of bring that shock value back to hip-hop anyway. Music in general, if Eminem showed up at the gathering just because of the history.
Oh, yeah, dude. It brings some type of...
and for them to do a song together would be even bigger. But I ain't gonna
hold my
that far
breath
yet.
Yeah, but at this point, after Eminem's latest album, man, oh good Jesus!
I haven't even listened to any of it, man. Honestly,
I got through 3 tracks of it, and I was like, let's take the worst parts of, say, let's see here, the Encore or the Eminem show. What's the name of it? Is it called Encore? The album that has them standing in front of like curtains.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
There's Encore, and then there's the Eminem show. I can't remember which. I think you're talking about Encore though. See,
yeah.
I stopped listening to Eminem albums after. Let's see. There was Slim Shady OP, which is my favorite next to Infinite. See, there's Slim Shady OP. There's the Marshall Mathers, and then there's. The Eminem show. The Eminem show, I think, was Superman and like those songs.
Okay, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's take the worst parts from that album.
Yeah. And
just make a whole album like it. And I don't give Eminem too much shit because to me, I still think he's a fucking lyrical genius, one of the best rappers on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But man, it was a turd. It's like it's bad. It's real bad.
See, I've heard people say it was great, and I've heard other people say it's not. I just haven't personally. I've been more interested in other shit to, remember that he even put out a new. I mean, I know he did, but
yeah, it's one of those things.
I've just been more interested in trying to find newer shit to listen to, or too busy listening to what I'm currently listening to jam it out or whatever. But I've been meaning to, man. I just haven't really had the chance yet.
Yeah, just get it out. Just get it out of the way. Just say you did. That's why I did it. I didn't finish it. But, it's like I feel obligated to listen to an Eminem album sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as far as, like, newer shit, I really dig Run the Jewels. Big fan of Run the Jewels.
See.
Yeah, it's got Killer Mike and all them in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's
forget about Killer Mike.
Yeah, because, Killer Mike's part of the Dungeon family, dude. So, he kills it. But then ironically listen to Gucci Gang. Because it's so bad.
I've seen so many different remixes to that, or different people just flow over. My daughter, last time I had her, she kind of showed interest in the whole Gucci Gang thing, and I was like, all right, she's definitely a hip hopper for sure, but
yeah, I mean, that was hilarious. That video you posted on YouTube with her and the power, not a power wheel, but the thing. Yeah, she's gangster. Ellie's gangster, man.
Yeah, man. She also, we were in a car. it's been a little bit now, a couple years, I guess, and she randomly did, like, I had Outkast actually playing, and Miss Jackson was like, well, her jam, and she knew the words and shit, which is ironic to me, you know.
That's weird. Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah. We know what that's
yeah,
about.
She I try to lead her to the right direction as far as music goes. She likes my music a lot. She don't like my acoustic guitar music or whatever. She likes our hip hop stuff though a lot.
Yeah,
which
okay. Isn't that
ahead.
crazy? That, I mean, not crude terms. That came from your balls, and she's enjoying a thing that you did.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like, it's a hard thing to like, because I talk about some some pretty serious stuff in our music, and sometimes it gets pretty intense as far as the subject matters and stuff. So like, I didn't know how to feel about it at first. There's definitely songs she don't listen to, but there's definitely songs I go ahead and like jam out for or whatever. And it's weird, man. It's a weird thing.
That's crazy. So, kind of on the same vein here, what is the latest on the Watsun? And you, my boy, Warren Beats Kevin. What is the latest track you guys are working on?
We actually, the latest thing out was the Mista track we did with Mahaney. We actually have something that we're setting on that ain't nobody heard yet. We ain't gonna release it until we've been working on this. We've had this Stay Alive idea going around since about 2013 or so, and we're finally going to try and start working that out. We got probably some of the best music, or probably definitely the best shit I've ever been a part of coming out eventually, but I can't really say too much about it other than there will be a Stay Alive demo, mixtape, or whatever you want to call it, coming out at some point, and it's going to change everything for me.
Dude, because it was clear water with this. Because anytime I hear you, Mahaney, and Kevin together, I just think about the Fishbone Collective. I'm kind of. I remember I done a video for the real one. I think that was close to like
Brian.
6. Yeah. Is D-Bry still part of the Warren Beats family, or what's going on with that?
I mean, yeah, like he's definitely. Me and Kevin just kind of like, the thing is with the whole Fishbone thing, it's definitely forever a family, and that's how it was created. We're just kind of I'm trying to get away from. Not from the Fishbone thing, but just kind of like, I don't want to be that guy, like, okay, that's the dude from Fishbone, I want to be Watsun, you know what I mean, as an individual, instead of looked at as a member of this group, whatever. But no, it's definitely still, I mean, we're still a family, we'll still work together, make music together, of course. It's just, we're growing as artists, and me especially, I've came a long way with the hip-hop thing, especially.
Because, I remember you recording a 34-minute freestyle at our house. We still have that.
It's been years
too. So when you get on when you make your first $1 million, I want to post that.
Yeah, there's definitely some years and years of me freestyling somewhere on something, making a fool of myself. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. It just I wish it didn't take me so long to kind of just come out of my shell and just do what the fuck I should have been doing in the first place.
But here's the thing, man. It's hard. Like, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's easier for me to do that in front of Alan and to do stuff, rap in front of in front of Mitch.
Yeah.
To me, it's all about the environment you're in.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you got good dudes around you, you're just gonna have a good time. And also, we kind of try to one-up each other in a fun way with verses and stuff.
That's exactly the way it will be. Warren Beats, he went about the latest, the couple of new shits we've recorded, including the Mr. thing. The newest thing we recorded that y'all ain't nobody heard is exactly what he said. He was like, he emailed me the stuff, the beat and everything, and immediately I was like, dude, I'm going to kill this one for sure. This is going to be it. And he was like, well, the only way you can get up on it, you got to one-up me, you got to do better than I did. And it's just, it's a fun motivational kind of way of doing stuff,
Yeah, sometimes it's daunting, considering how awesome Kevin is,
it's unbelievable, man. The dude is a freak show with the shit.
Yeah, and like, that's why sometimes I feel silly walking to Alan's like, hey, man, I got this riff. Yeah. Then Alan's like, he's like the master riffman, and...
Yep, he's another one of those dudes that'll intimidate intimidate you.
Yeah,
stuff,
it's kind of like, oh man. But
I kind of just got to where it's like, fuck it, man. You know, I'm gonna do what I do and do it the best I can and improve myself after every time. So
yep, that's all you can do.
Really, yeah, I'm not too shy about it at this point. But there's definitely, I guess, a time and place for certain things, and I don't go around drunk and freestyling on beats as much as I used to.
It's so fun. Yeah, yeah. It's like it's really the verses are really structured now, and I think everybody has just enough time to shine on a track when it's a Fishbone.
Man. Well, the thing that bothered me the most about the Fishbone thing was, you look at all the music and the hip hop that's going on right now, like our shit. And I ain't afraid to say it. Our shit's better than so much shit I hear right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you got 4 talented motherfuckers who just came from a ditch in Muhlenberg County and just couldn't get it together. Some of us were in trouble. Some of us was doing this. Some was doing that. And to get us all together at one spot to do a show or to do some stuff, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, Al and I's been fighting that battle for a long time.
Yeah, and I'd like to think at one point we'll all be in the same place at the same time and be able to do something like that. But my focus right now is just my Watsun thing and Stay Alive thing with Will, Kevin, and then just kind of getting my redemption, I guess, or whatever, and then just going from there, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's all about also just keeping it together, keeping some type of focus.
Yeah,
going.
Absolutely. I mean, Fishbone's forever. Fishbone's not just a hip hop group like initially. It was just an idea from on a porch, and Fishbone's. It's a family, really. You know what I mean? It's not just a hip hop group or whatever. But we got motherfuckers walking around with fish skeleton tattoos, so we must be doing something good.
That's true. That's true.
So.
Yeah, it's always quality shit when it comes to you guys collectively together doing stuff. It's always awesome. It's interesting.
Yeah, man.
And I know Kevin works his ass off all the time, and whenever I always try to kind of nag him a little bit about sending me tracks, sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're demos, and sometimes they're full blown tracks that haven't been heard yet. And it's just there's a lot of work that goes into this that a lot of people just don't think about.
Yeah, man. The people, the listener, man. You know what I mean? Like you have us that make the music and do it in like. Just it's in our blood or DNA or whatever. And then you have the listeners who don't understand what it takes to put what it's actually put into it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's definitely time consuming, and I'm definitely an impatient person. So I'm hoping we can get a Stay Alive thing because that's gonna be what changes the game as far as I go. And like it's gonna definitely give everyone a new outlook on what I've done anyway, and. It's going to be some of the best shit anyone's ever heard, so I'm pretty stoked on it. They think about like our area in Muhlenberg, we have, you have so many talented dudes, including yourself and Alan and Kevin and myself and, Dick Gray and all these people, all these really good musicians and good artists that have so much talent, and it's been such a waste for all these, like, it's such a fucking waste that we get stuck in this area and we get brought down because of where we live and shit.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
it's sad, man.
Yeah, sometimes you ever think like, no, I mean I don't mean this in a stupid way, but sometimes it seems like if this happened, if we was doing this, say I don't know, in the '90s, late '80s, that we'd be fucking we'd be like Ric Flair now. We'll have limousines.
Dude, I've said that from day one. It's like I was born in the wrong place and wrong area of shit, which is. Man, it can be an excuse, but the thing is like we've always kind of rolled our own way, did our own shit, and we've kind of meshed with a certain genre, certain ways in the '90s for sure. Like if I was born earlier than I was and my age now in the '90s, I feel like I'd have been more successful as far as the music and shit goes.
Yeah, because
I feel like that for everybody.
We came in right on the tail end of the music industry dying.
Yep, we got fucked.
Yeah.
Like I know it's frustrating, and I spent a lot of time being mad as shit about it and pissed off about it,
But what keeps me going though is knowing that I'm doing it A for myself and B.
Yep.
And if one motherfucker gets some type of reaction out of the thing that I made, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's like it's weird how I remember seeing back in the day random dudes from different places having a band shirt that I was part of, or even now I get people from like dudes from Owensboro or from different areas sharing or liking my the music we make and shit, and it's pretty dope. Just to get that kind of recognition or that kind of being noticed a little bit, it gives me a little bit of hope or whatever. Because I mean, initially, man, like my goal isn't to at this point in life, it's like I ain't trying to be fucking famous. Fuck that anyway. Famous, no. Like I ain't trying to just be Wiz Khalifa or fucking whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna happen. But just to be able and be recognized and taken serious for what it is, we all do, is all I need.
Yep. It's I don't know. It's a high that I still chase.
Yeah, buddy. But hopefully, man, one day we can all get together and everybody. Like, I want to see everybody succeed and like, get back to the groove of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and if I can do that by doing whatever it is musically I do, and then somebody see it, one of you guys be like, damn, dude, like, he's still fucking doing it, and he's not giving up yet. Then maybe it'll kind of put a fire, spark some shit going. I don't know.
And best believe when I roam, I have my family behind me. Deep in the woods and bitch, I bet you can't find me. It's harder